Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Karen Marie and this is my channel made by Karen Marie. As you can probably see and hear, I'm outside at the moment taking a little afternoon stroll on a Sunday afternoon. We returned from Denmark yesterday, and if you saw last week's video you will know that I have some back problems at the moment. I have some physio scheduled for tomorrow, so yeah, I hope that that's going to ease the pain a little bit. But for now I'm out walking a little bit, trying to, keep mobile and get a little circulation into my back. So we came home yesterday, and even though we obviously take the ferry back from Denmark, it is still like 3.5 hours drive back from where we get in Norway back home. So that was not fun with this back, I can tell you. I felt very sorry for myself. So I'm out walking now while I wait for my dinner. Unfortunately, I am right at a footpath at the moment that's adjacent to the road, and apparently, and isn't it typical that once you start filming, every Tom, Dick and Harry decides to take a drive next to me on that road. So I'm sorry for the noise, but I'll get into a quieter path in a moment. So I hope it's not too disturbing. So I should have taken a path into the forest instead, but I haven't done one of these chatty outside walks videos for a little while. I usually reserve them for vlogmas, but I love walking. It's my favorite form of exercise nowadays. But anyway, I wanted to have a little chat with you because even though I haven't sewn anything now for the past few weeks, I have received some happy mail, and I have done a little more fabric shopping. Yeah, I know. Last week I filmed a pretty massive fabric haul that I did at Selfmade in Aalborg. And I don't know if I told you this, but on our final day, which was Friday, our last full day, I should say, was Friday, and the weather was very wet and windy, and yeah, not really suitable for outdoor activities that much. So we decided to go back to Aalborg to head into the city centre, have some nice lunch, and yeah, just have a mooch about really. But I also then went back to Selfmade because when I was editing the video last week, I had some footage from the shop, and I had some, what do you call it when you regret not getting something? I know it's buyer's remorse when you regret something you have actually bought, but I don't know what you call it when you regret not getting something. But yeah, since we were already there, I popped back into Selfmade for about half an hour, 45 minutes. And I picked up some more fabrics, so I'm going to show them to you afterwards, or maybe I will, depending on how long I chat to you, maybe I will save it for another week, because I have actually also bought some more fabrics from Fabric Godmother. So I might save it, but I don't know yet. And I had 2 Quiltfolk magazines delivered, and I thought we could have a look at those too. But for now, I just wanted to have a little chat with you. So I haven't, as I said, been sewing for the past few weeks while I've been on holiday, but I have been thinking about sewing a lot. Missing my sewing machine terribly, even though we've had a lovely holiday. We didn't really want to come back yesterday. It was great to sleep in my own bed. Yeah, getting old. But yeah, it was great to sleep in my own bed, but I already miss Denmark. We always enjoy ourselves so much when we're there, and yeah, it's just a great place to visit. So yeah, but I have been thinking about sewing, and first of all, I have a collaboration coming up. I have two. I haven't told you about the second yet, but I will. But first of all, it's the one that you know about, and that is the hashtag Sew Flaneur with Us challenge that I have going with Rebecca, the lovely Rebecca, from Sewing in Imperfect Life. So I have already been sewing up a toile. That worked pretty well, but I didn't choose the right fabric for them. So they were a little too lightweight because I sort of chose a chambray for those. And yeah, I need more weight. Yeah, I'm trying to sort of find the right fabric. And I think I did when I was in Selfmade round 2. They're going to be very much out of my comfort zone, I have to say, but I'll tell you more about them later. But the reveal date of the Sew Flaneur with Us, that is the 15th of July. So I cannot stress enough that this is not a challenge where there are prizes or anything, but Rebecca and I both wanted to sew the flaneurs, and we decided to have a little collaboration. And of course, we invite you all to sew the flaneurs and to share them on Instagram and tag both Rebecca and I, and use the hashtag Sew Flaneur with Us. So I'm going to turn around now because yeah, I feel it in my back. But it's not a very nice area, this, because it's sort of an industrial area, but this was the best I could without all the traffic noise. So excuse the background. Doesn't look very good. Avoid the traffic noise, she said, and the first thing that comes along is a camper van. Anyway, so yeah, I have the little challenge going with the lovely Rebecca, and do please join us if you have been thinking about sewing up the flaneurs. So seeing as it's not a challenge or anything, do feel free to sew up the flaneurs at any time and tag us with the same hashtag. Because it's not a challenge with prizes, you can just post them any old time. And yeah, we really want to see your makes with the flaneurs. They are very different to other trouser patterns that I've sewn, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So the other thing that I'm actually going to prioritize is a pair of trousers too, but they're not for me. They're for my brother. And earlier this summer, before, I'm sorry to say, the sale at Wardrobe by Me, I bought the Wardrobe by Me chino pants for men. And I'm going to sew up a couple of chinos in a sort of wool suiting that I got at my local fabric store, because my brother said that he doesn't really have any like suit trousers nowadays that fit him very well. He's tall and slim, and it's, you know, not necessarily very easy for him to just pick any old thing off the shelves because he has very long legs. Yeah, so I really wanted to make him a pair of suit trousers, but I didn't really want all the fluff with the sort of pleats and the, yeah. So I decided to make him a more informal pair of you know, pants, suit pants. So I decided to try the chinos pants. I've never sewn those up before, but there is a sew along, I think, on the Wardrobe by Me YouTube channel, and the instructions are usually pretty decent of Wardrobe by Me, so I think I'll be able to do that. If I have enough fabric and if I have the time, I will also make him a vest to go with the trousers. I'm not going to sew him a blazer, so yeah. Not only because I have no pattern, but I don't think I have the skills to do a real like formal blazer yet. Maybe I will at some point, but not yet. So those are the two things that I have planned. So my brother's birthday is this upcoming week, but he's currently on holiday, so I don't have to have it like finished for his actual birthday, which is a good thing because I'll never make that because it's in 2 days. But I will make a priority of those two garments, the flaneurs for myself in a very out of my comfort zone fabric that I'll show you. And yeah, the chinos for my brother. And I also have something that I need to sew up by the end of the month, and that is a new shirt for my father. My dad turns 85 this year, and I mean, we're going to have a little party for him. Nothing major, but you know, some traditional Norwegian food and and some of his friends and our neighbors and everything up at the farm. He doesn't have a terribly long wish list these days, but he loves wearing shirts. And when I visited my local fabric store earlier this summer, a few weeks ago, I saw this really like 70s plaid cotton fabric that I just couldn't resist, because my dad's heyday was in the 70s and he loves those colors and those prints and everything. It was quite embarrassing really, because he kept wearing them into the 90s, and when I was a teenager and he came in his 70s suit to a party, it was, you know, now we would think it was cool, you know. But anyway, I'm going to sew him up a shirt, and that's going to be the Wardrobe by Me Jensen shirt. I made that for my husband earlier this year, was it? No, it was for Christmas, I think. And he really likes that shirt. The only thing is that he says that when he raises his arm, the shirt kind of follows. So I'm thinking that I need to, if I make it for my husband again at least, I need to raise the arm side a little bit to that, so that he has more movement in the shoulder. My husband is quite like broad-shouldered, so it might have something to do with that too, that the sort of fit isn't completely spot on for him. So I have plans, as you can see. I also have my summer plans. I was able to make up 2 of the things on that before I went to Denmark. I was really chuffed that I was able to make both the blue strawberry shirt, the Donny shirt, and the Wardrobe by Me Whisper blouse for in that kind of the white double gauze with cherries on for So Fruity. So I have lots of other things on my summer plans too, like the flaneurs that I've been talking about, and I have that Lotte dress that in the khaki color with the tigers on that I'm really looking forward to sewing up. And then I have the Hue's dress by Friday Pattern Company in that black and white. And yeah, and lots of other things that I really want to sew up. Back down the road now, I'm afraid, but yeah. So last week I showed you what some of the things that I wore on holiday, the me mades, and I actually really like that format. It also kind of forced me to think about the things that I have that are me made and how I kind of use them, pair them with other me mades or ready to wear. I have bought a few t-shirts lately just because I couldn't be bothered to sew them up. So I really do like that kind of video, and if you would like me to do more like 1 week me made kind of thing, please do let me know. I know the queen of 1 week me maids is of course Angela from Devon Thread Tales. I love her 1 week me maids because she tells you a little bit of what she's doing that day, and of course what she's wearing, so you can sort of see how she uses her wardrobe, which I find is really interesting. So if you want me to do that kind of thing, please do let me know. Yeah, but one thing that I did use a lot, I didn't exactly wear it, but one thing that I used a lot while I was on vacation was another me made and that was my coffee sleeve. I love those things and they're so quick and easy to make. I have made quite a few as like presents, and even though I try to like limit my consumption of single-use cups and stuff like that, it is not always easy to avoid them when you're on vacation, because not all coffee shops etc will allow you to fill your thermos cup on their machines, and for hygiene reasons etc, and I completely understand that. But then of course you're left with those single-use cups, and wow, they're really hot. So I brought with me, I always have one in my bag, like a coffee sleeve, and the pattern that I use is from Pin Cut Sew. If you don't follow her YouTube channel, I think you really should, because it's so fun to watch. She does a lot of quilting, but she also does some garment making, and she's brilliant at these little like presents and stuff like that for Christmas. She has some patterns for like book sleeves and stuff like that. So yeah, Pin Cut Sew, if you haven't followed already, please do. I don't know her at all. I really like her channel, and yeah, she's good fun to watch, very laid back and everything. So yeah, so I purchased that little, it was, you know, for almost nothing, that little pattern, but she also tells you how to do it without it. So yeah, but that coffee sleeve got a lot of wear this holiday that I took, so I forgot to mention that in my last video. Do you want to see the cows? I live right next to a farm, or not right next to, but very close to a farm. Can you see them there? They were a little bit out of focus. Some of them are lying down and some of them are grazing at the moment. Having a lovely day by the looks of them. So I'll be strolling back now. All the potatoes are in the oven. I hope they are almost ready by the time I get back. And yeah, I'm going to film a little bit about the Quiltfolk magazine that I just received. I have barely looked at them yet, but I thought you might want to have a little look at the two. I've seen Kate from the Fold Line. She's been talking about them. They have them in the Fold Line shop. But I was actually on the website of Quiltfolk magazine. And they have like one issue from different states. And I have a lot of friends in Oregon. And the very first issue that they published way back when was from Oregon. And I have been wanting to get my hands on that issue for quite a while. Unfortunately, it's been out of print, so the Fold Line doesn't have it. And yeah, so I went back on the website, and then it was in again because they had done a reprint of that issue, and I just thought I'll get it. And while I was there, they had sort of a buy one get one more for half off kind of thing. I couldn't choose freely there. There was like one issue that was half off, and I decided that since I had to pay international shipping, import tax, all of that anyway, I might as well, you know, be rude not to, as they say. Hello again. So I came back from my walk, had my dinner, and then had a good snooze. So it's quite a bit later and the lighting isn't great, but I hope that's okay. But I just wanted to show you the magazines that arrived while I was on holiday. I'm not much of a quilter myself, but I have made some quilts and I actually use those quilts quite a lot. So I really want to make some more, but quilting is sort of, I have to be in the mood for it because I do find the kind of repetitiveness of just, straight lines all the time can be a bit boring. But sometimes when I just don't want to think about anything in particular, I do like sewing up a quilt block. I find it kind of like a meditative thing. You sew the same thing over and over, and then you sort of piece them together and you magically have a quilt block. And yeah, I really do like that sometimes, and I really want to quilt more. I have one specific project in mind. I haven't really talked about this much, but my eldest daughter is 17 now, which is really weird to think about. But because she is doing sort of an international program for high school, she will be finishing high school already next year. So 1 year ahead of her sort of other classmates. So yeah, she could be moving out already next year, which doesn't bear thinking about, but and moving to university, or having to serve in the military. We don't know yet what her plans will be next year, but most likely she will be moving out, and I really want to make a quilt for her, sort of a queen-sized quilt, so that she has a big quilt that she could take with her and have a little piece of her family with her in her new abode, wherever that may be. Yeah, and she has said previously that she really loves those kind of scrappy quilts that doesn't really have like a design in particular or a pattern. She really likes these kind of old-fashioned scrappy quilts. And yeah, I've been thinking that I really want to make her one. But yeah, I saw Kate from the Fold line announce these Quiltfolk magazines, and I mean, these are not, they're not patterns in here, they're just stories. And yeah, I don't know why, but I just really wanted them. And now that they're here, I'm going to show you what they look like. So as you can see, they're quite thick, and they have like really good quality thick paper in there. And they have lots of these glorious pictures in there of the area in Oregon. And as I think I said, we have a lot of friends in Oregon. I've visited there too. It's gorgeous. And yeah, there are like interviews and stories with quilters in Oregon for this. And the other one that I got for half off is this one, and this one is from Idaho. That's a state that I have never visited, where I don't know anyone, but I really wanted to take advantage of the offer that they had on. There are no advertisements in these, and I just find that so lovely. I'd rather pay more and not have advertisements, because they disturb the reading, and most of those glossy magazines have more advertisements than real content, or at least it feels so. So these are not cheap. I can't remember now how much I paid for them, but something like $22, was it? US dollars. And then of course I have to pay shipping and import tax and all of that jazz. So they're not cheap, but there are no advertisements, and they are quite chunky. So they're more like a book, And I do really think that I want to pay for quality content. So I'm really looking forward to these, and I can't wait to sort of dive into the stories that these quilters will tell, and sort of how the society has influenced their crafts, and sort of the significance of the crafts. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to sitting down with a cup of tea and enjoying these. So I just really wanted to show you these too, and they are really beautiful by like first sight. I haven't read anything yet in there, but I find it really, really interesting, and there are lots of stories and interviews and everything. So I'm looking forward to having a good read through those. So that was it for me this week. I hope you don't mind that the two last videos have been kind of off-brand for me, but I really wanted to have like one video a week, even though I've been on holiday and haven't sewn anything. So I hope you don't mind that. Yeah, I've been sort of off path these couple of weeks. And next week I hope to be back with maybe a Friday sews or something, and I hope to have an update on the flaneur pants. I will definitely be showing you the last few purchases from Selfmade, and fingers crossed that my parcel from Fabric Godmother will arrive soon. I'm sure they won't come this week, but maybe next week. So yeah, lots to look forward to there. But I would love to hear from you what you think of my latest videos. I know they've been sort of off-brand. With my last week it was 1 week me made, and this week it was a chatty little update. And yeah, I would really love to hear from you, or whether you mind these kind of breakups from the regular programming, whether you think it's okay and refreshing that YouTubers that you follow kind of change things up a bit. This was really my only opportunity to make content for you these weeks, seeing as I've been on holiday. So I really do hope that you don't mind, but I would really love to hear what you think, and I would love to hear what you are working on these days. Are you sewing something for a particular occasion, or are you sort of doing basics these days, or you know, I would love to hear what you are working on. And as always, if you have a comment, please do leave them in the description box. You know how much I love interacting with you, and that you spark some joy here when you leave me a comment. So yeah, that is it for me this week. I'll be back soon with another video. So until then, take care, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.